You, how's things?
Things are good. Nice to see you too.
I love the movie, by the way. Really did. I think it's the best one.
Awesome. Thanks. That's great.
How are you with watching stuff back and kind of formulating your own opinion of your performance and the movie that you've just been in?
I don't do well with that the first time. Just not just because it's uncomfortable watching yourself, but because I get so worried about making sure that everything has come across, obviously. So it's like I can never sit back and just absorb the movie for what it is. So I have to do that. I have to watch this a couple more times, I think.
So it's starting to happen with the previous two, is it? You're now getting comfortable with watching those ones a couple of years later?
I haven't seen them usually what happens is as soon as the movie's done, I watch it a couple times like at that time, and then if it's like on TV or something, you'll watch like 2 seconds and I'll like run out of the room. But yeah, I don't really want. Yeah. It's weird for me to watch them because
it's you.
Yay.
And people are going to go and see this movie, and I'm just wondering if there are any scenes that you would like to point out to the people listening and watching who are going to go and watch the movie that you think you really enjoyed doing, or that you think are of particular interest, or you're especially proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I was most excited about the Jacob Bella kiss, just because it's such a different thing for me to play. It doesn't really go along with anything in the series. It's like it is a random moment of like, what am I doing? So I mean, the way I've played her, it just doesn't go along with it. So it was gonna be, I wanted to like surprise myself, and it was what I thought. It was weird in the best way, and I like how it comes across in the movie. But yeah.
So what were the preparations for that big moment? Because it is a massive moment in the Twilight saga, isn't it? And presumably you'd spoken with David, the director, about it, and maybe even with the writers about it. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, it's sort of. I feel like it's important that it seems like it's not completely thought out, because it's not like there's this gradual. It's not like she slowly sees that he's good for her. It's something that starts off very manipulative, and it just takes actually kissing him to see that she's been sort of overlooking a lot, and that was what we talked about, all that stuff. I mean, just what the scene is.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very heartfelt movie, and actually New Moon, I thought the number of times that I watched it, I kind of got the genuine romance out of it more and more the more times I watched it. But with this one, I think as well, the romance and the love is just so, it's not trying to be comedic, it's not trying to be silly, it's not being patronising, it's just genuine love between, well, 2 or 3 people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 3 now. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's actually quite a rare thing, you don't see that often in films, where it's just treated really
simply.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just is what it is. It's not like, yeah, I know. Everyone always wonders like what this story has, like, and why it's such a phenomenon, and why like what makes it unique. I've asked the fans and stuff, like, what is it? What's the key? What's so special? It's like, first love. It's so simple. It's like all they scream back at me. They just go, Edward. It's like, okay, right there. It's just like, it's a good love story.
And it probably says a lot about movies, that it has to be a story involving werewolves and vampires for us to get the most genuine human thing out there. Do you know what I mean? It has to be a fantasy movie for us to be able to see this really normal thing.
It definitely makes it more interesting. I mean, it takes it to like a heightened level.
My favourite bit was graduation scene, actually, and I think there you can really see what visually, what David Slade, as the new director, has brought to it, because it looks beautiful. You're wearing these yellow outfits, aren't you? Really kind of striking. But also you're just reminded in that moment that actually Bella does have a normal teenage life, and she graduates and she went to high school. But then the flip side is all the massively intense stuff that's going on in her life. Yeah. Really reminds you of that in that scene, I think.
Yeah, I love that aspect of that, because I mean, girls. Yeah, I'm a girl, so that's what I can like relate to. But just young people, and I mean, I feel like I've been there before. I mean, I feel like some crazy event is happening and everyone's really happy, and you're like, yeah, cool, but I can't really talk about like and it's cool that there's like this fantasy version of that. It's like, it's all. I mean, it's like you said, vampires and werewolves, but it's like, it's all very. It hits. It's real. Whatever.
Reading around the background to the movie, a lot of the other cast seem to get really amped up about the action because it's action-packed in this, and they seem to be really excited about that. Now you're not so involved in that side of it,
Yeah.
but there just seems to be so much energy on set of, you know, sort of sports fans and guys who work out all the time, just really ready to let rip.
Yeah. It is really funny when they, like, try to pump up before takes. You have to take them seriously as wolves and or, like, you know, people that turn into wolves in a second, and they're, like, hoorahing and punching each other's stomach and doing, like, quick push-ups on the ground. It's really funny. Yeah.
How much was Stephanie involved on the set in Eclipse?
More so than she has been so far, which was really nice. She has, like, a lot of details that occur to her, like, that, you know, everybody reads the book and pulls out little nuanced things, little things that they, you know, are really affected by, and that's what's important to them. And it's cool to have her on set to remind us of her little things, because we wouldn't know them otherwise, and it's nice to be able to satisfy that. And it's also, like, sort of like the ultimate validation if you go over and she's like, that was good. It's like, okay, cool, done. You know. Yeah.
So we're halfway through the year now, and we've got Eclipse, and well, Britain is yet to have The Runaways actually, but I know it's done some stuff in the States already.
Mm-hmm.
How are you sort of looking back on 2010? Is it a year for branching out and you know, showing different sides to you as an actor? Did you have any plans for things you wanted to do in 2010 that, you know, you've yet to do or have gone to plan maybe?
No, not really. I mean, I don't have I really don't plan things out. I find myself every single time I'm standing on a set, like for the first day, going like, okay, thank God this is going through, because like whenever I read a script, it's like you don't know if things are going to come together, and I get a really particular feeling when I feel like I'm able to do a part, and it doesn't happen with everything, even if the part is like fits me or whatever. It's like it's something different. So 2010, I worked on three movies that I just have that feeling about, and yeah, that's what I take from it.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.